Hey there. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a moment where you need to make small talk, but your mind just goes blank? Maybe you're at a party, a work event, or meeting someone for the first time, and you're wondering, what do I even say? I get it. Small talk can feel awkward, even intimidating. But here's the thing. What we call small talk isn't small at all. It's actually this amazing way to connect with people, bond, and even learn something new. Today, I want to chat with you about how to make small talk feel less like a chore and more like a fun, natural part of life. Let's start with how we think about small talk. A lot of us see it as this fluffy chit-chat that doesn't really matter, like it's just noise to fill the silence. But honestly, it's so much more than that. It's a chance to build relationships and get to know someone, even in a tiny way. The catch? It's got to be spontaneous. You can't walk in with a script, and that can make it feel like a pop quiz on your social skills. I used to think of it like a tennis match, lobbing something over to the other person, hoping they hit it back, and praying it doesn't flop. But I found a better way to look at it. Picture small talk as a game of hacky sack. You know, that little beanbag you kick around with friends, trying to keep it in the air together. It's not about one person showing off fancy moves. It's about everyone pitching in to keep the conversation going. When you see it that way, it's less about performing and more about collaborating. Suddenly, it's not so scary. It's actually kind of enjoyable. So, when you're in one of these moments, what should your goal be? I love this saying from Rachel Greenwald, a matchmaker and academic. Be interested, not interesting. A lot of us walk into small talk thinking we've got to dazzle everyone with how fascinating we are. But that just piles on the pressure. Instead, flip it around. Focus on being curious about the other person. It's such a relief. You don't have to be the star of the show. You just have to show up, listen, and care. People light up when they feel you're genuinely paying attention. Now, here's something we all do. Someone says something, and we jump to reply right away. Like speed is the key to looking smart. But rushing can backfire. You might blur out something you didn't mean or miss the point entirely. I've learned it's totally fine to pause for a second. Taking a beat doesn't make you look slow. It shows you're thoughtful. And one trick to help with that? Paraphrasing. Not like a kid parroting back every word, but summing up what they said in your own way. Say someone tells you, I just got back from a trip to Italy and it was incredible. You could respond, oh, so Italy blew you away. What was your favorite part? It proves you're listening, keeps you on track, and buys you a little time to think. And if you ever hit that moment where you're like, what now? Don't panic. Just lean on 3 little words. Tell me more. My mother-in-law was a small talk wizard, and this was her secret weapon. She'd say it with this warm, curious tone, like, tell me more about that. And people would just open up. It's so simple, but it works like magic. It gives them space to keep talking and gives you a chance to catch your breath. Just make sure you sound interested. Say it flat, and it falls flat, but say it with a spark, and the conversation keeps rolling. Here's the reality. We're all going to mess up sometimes. You might say something awkward or stumble over your words. It happens. But instead of stressing about it, think of it like a mistake. You know how actors do a bunch of takes on a movie set? Same deal here. It's not about being perfect. It's about connecting. If it doesn't land, oh well, you'll get another shot. Now let's talk about something I struggle with, going on too long. When I'm nervous, I start rambling, throwing out every thought in my head, hoping something sticks. My mom has this great line. Tell me the time, don't bill me the clock. Isn't that perfect? We don't need to over-explain. Just keep it short and sweet. One way to do that is with a little structure I love. What? So what? Now what? It's like a mini roadmap for your thoughts. The what is your main point. The so what is why it matters. And the now what is the next step. For example, imagine you're at a work mixer and someone asks what you do. You could say, I'm in marketing, what? I help brands connect with people in cool ways. So what? Right now, I'm working on a big product launch. Now what? Boom. Clear, concise, and interesting. You can even use it to ask questions. What brings you here? Why is it important to you? What's next for you tonight? It keeps things flowing without dragging on. Starting small talk can feel tricky too. We often go for the usual, hey, how are you? Or what do you do? Those are fine, but they can fizzle out fast. I found it's better to tie it to what's around you. The other day, I walked up to someone and said, is it just me, or is everyone here wearing a blue shirt? They laughed, agreed, and we were off talking about random stuff. It's about noticing something specific, a quirky detail, the vibe of the room, and using that to kick things off. It beats the generic stuff any day. Then there's ending it. Sometimes the hardest part. We've all done the, oh, I need a drink, or gotta hit the bathroom exit. But there's a smoother way. Another gem from Greenwald called the white flag approach. It's like in car racing when they wave a white flag before the last lap. You signal the end is coming, but you keep it going a bit. So you might say, I've got to catch up with some friends in a sec, but tell me quick, what was that Hawaii trip like? It's friendly, it wraps things up nicely, and it leaves a good vibe for next time. So here's the rundown. Small talk is a superpower for connecting with people. Focus on being interested, not interesting. Pause and paraphrase to keep it real. Say, tell me more when you're stuck. Don't sweat the slip-ups. They're just mistakes. Stay concise with what, so what, now what. Start with something you notice around you, and end it with a graceful white flag. The best part? It gets easier the more you try it. Next time you're in a small talk spot, take a deep breath, lean into these ideas, and have fun with it. You've got this. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll catch you next time.